He taught me, all the mathematical tables, and by the time I got into third grade, the teacher said, she's just passed all the standardized tests up to 12th grade.
Sunny Hostin, once a celebrated legal mind and a cornerstone of The View, found herself at the heart of a scandal that shattered her career and led to the show's shocking cancellation. Her incisive commentary had long elevated the program, but nothing could shield her from the crisis that erupted with astonishing speed. A court verdict ordering her to pay $100 million in damages, a blow that rocked the daytime television world and destroyed her sterling reputation. Subtly, but became undeniable, when rumors surfaced about her husband's involvement in a federal investigation into racketeering and insurance fraud. For many, the notion was unthinkable. Sunny, a former prosecutor with an impeccable record, now linked to white-collar crime through her own household, federal agents raided offices tied to her husband's business, leading to his arrest. Ominous footage of him in handcuffs played on an endless loop, with phrases like organized scheme and financial improprieties dominating the airwaves. Social media exploded with speculation, some wondering if Sunny herself was implicated, despite her formidable legal acumen. ABC launched an internal review widely seen as a precursor to her removal. But before any resolution, a second explosive revelation emerged, sealing Sunny's fate and marking the end of an era for The View. Herself became the target of a staggering $100 million civil lawsuit, accused of using her legal expertise to aid her husband's alleged involvement in an illicit insurance scheme. The accusations, though initially vague, painted her as more than an unwitting spouse, suggesting she had leveraged her background to conceal fraudulent activities. Her attorneys dismissed the claims as baseless and an opportunistic attempt to exploit her high profile for financial gain, but the sheer size of the lawsuit made it impossible to ignore. Public sentiment shifted dramatically. Once admired for her incisive moral clarity on legal issues, Sunny now faced allegations of hypocrisy. Her co-hosts, typically unflinching in their discussions, appeared visibly uneasy on set, with debates turning hesitant and guarded. Viewers noticed the change, lamenting the loss of The View's trademark frankness. Meanwhile, rumors circulated that sponsors were reevaluating their partnerships, adding to the tension.
Right? They had a vision of how do we create community and create a space where we are welcome in a country where we are not welcome. And I think that was the goal, has been the goal, and they have really maintained that goal.
Sunny maintained a composed front, refusing to address the swirling headlines directly, but the atmosphere on set had palpably changed. The camaraderie with her co-hosts seemed strained, and the dynamic that had fueled the show's success began to unravel. The scandal deepened after her husband's arrest, as federal prosecutors invoked RICO charges, alleging a complex fraud scheme involving unnecessary medical procedures, falsified records, and money funneled through shell companies. Over 100 individuals were implicated, with Sunny's husband allegedly playing a central role. While Sunny vehemently denied any involvement, pointing to the vast number of defendants to emphasize her innocence, leaked emails, tangential at best, were sensationalized in the tabloids. Conspiracy theories flourished, speculating whether she had offered legal advice that inadvertently facilitated the scheme. The mounting circumstantial evidence gave momentum to the $100 million lawsuit, which accused her of directly or indirectly participating in the fraudulent activities.
15 women have accused him of sexual assault. We've heard about the Stormy Daniels story, that he allegedly paid $130,000.
Were you pissed that she canceled on your show?
I was. Only because, we're a very supportive environment for women. I think any guest will tell you that.
Behind the scenes, ABC executives scrambled to contain the fallout. Credibility, the hallmark of The View, was now under fire. The producers emphasized Sunny's right to due process, but the scandal was an existential threat to the show's integrity, casting a shadow over everything it stood for. Sunny Hostin's once impressive record as a prosecutor, known for tackling financial crimes, couldn't shield her from the fallout. Advertisers began withdrawing, citing the reputational risks of being linked to such a massive scandal. Industry analysts warned that ABC had no choice but to take drastic measures to restore trust. The breaking point came when Sunny lost the lawsuit. The $100 million verdict shocked legal experts and the public alike. While civil suits have a lower burden of proof, the court's ruling was devastating. It accused Sunny of willfully ignoring glaring red flags and benefiting from fraudulent activities, painting a damning picture of complicity.
I really did, and you were like, I heard you coming on the show, and I was like, yeah, I'm joining the show. She was like, did they give you car stipend? I was like, no.
did they give you this? I was like, no. I was like, let me get my deal sheet out. And you basically went over your salary for the entire time you were there. And you also gave me Jenny McCarthy's salary.
Though she faced no criminal charges, the court's conclusions were enough to irreparably damage her reputation. Social media exploded. Critics celebrated her fall from grace, while fans expressed shock and dismay. Speculation mounted about her financial situation, with insiders hinting the verdict could push her to bankruptcy. Behind the scenes, ABC scrambled to manage the crisis. Executives held emergency meetings, debating whether rebranding or revamping the show could salvage its future. However, the scandal had become inseparable from The View's identity. Advertisers officially pulled out, making it clear they wouldn't risk their brands being tied to the controversy. By week's end, ABC made the stunning announcement that The View would be canceled immediately, ending decades of cultural relevance in a matter of days. But the aftermath was chaotic. Longtime staffers, from production assistants to camera operators, found themselves abruptly jobless. Viewers who had tuned in for years were left disoriented, feeling as if a part of their daily routine had vanished overnight. Social media was ablaze with hashtags like RIP The View and Justice for Sunny. Though public sentiment leaned heavily toward outrage and schadenfreude, the media analysts dissected the fallout, noting that the RICO charges had exposed the vast scale of white-collar crime behind the scandal. They pointed out how such fraud often hides behind complex corporate structures, making it difficult to detect until a crisis erupts. In the end, Sunny's downfall not only marked the end of her career, but also the abrupt collapse of one of daytime television's most iconic programs. Sunny's downfall became a cautionary tale about the perils of guilt by association. Many believed her marriage to a man with alleged shady business ties had derailed her career, speculating that without that connection, she might have continued her influential run on The View unscathed. However, the court's verdict painted a much harsher reality, suggesting that Sunny had more awareness or even involvement than she admitted. The $100 million judgment raised questions about her financial future, with legal experts predicting that her personal assets, including her home and intangible holdings, could be on the line if the plaintiffs pursued full restitution.
Reluctant to share it, actually.
Why?
I will tell you, because I knew that it would get pickup. I knew that it would be Sunny Hostin from The View. And
So what?
I know.
But this happened to you. You weren't lying.
It happened, but I will tell you, right after it happened, I went over to Joy Behar's house. And she said, "What's wrong with you? You're not your usual self." And I told her, and she said, "We're talking about this on the show."
ABC avoided direct legal blame as the lawsuit did not name the network. Yet the swift cancellation of The View underscored the seriousness of the meltdown, with the network scrambling to protect its reputation. Meanwhile, chilling details about the fraud scheme that ensnared her husband continued to surface. Unnecessary surgeries performed on patients who didn't need them, inflated insurance claims, and kickbacks for middlemen steering healthy individuals toward invasive procedures. Patients who trusted their doctors or believed they needed treatment later discovered they had been used as pawns in this scheme. Public outrage grew, prompting regulators to propose new measures to combat such conspiracies. While Sunny's criminal culpability remained unproven, the civil court's ruling was unequivocal. The judge believed she had knowingly benefited from the fraud. Critics compared the case to past RICO prosecutions of mobsters and corporations, highlighting how the law could ensnare anyone connected to large-scale fraud, even a daytime TV host with a law degree. The fallout for Sunny was swift and personal. Former colleagues on The View issued cautious statements, acknowledging the show's cancellation and expressing sympathy for the staff. But stopping short of defending Sunny, Megyn Kelly, a longtime critic of the program, pointed out the irony of The View, a show known for its moral judgments, ending under such a damning cloud. Joy Behar, once a close ally, declined to comment extensively, saying only that she was devastated for the staff. For many viewers, the scandal felt surreal, like a real-life soap opera, overshadowing tabloid headlines.
Taught me, all the mathematical tables, and by the time I got into third grade, the teacher said, "She's just passed all the standardized tests up to 12th grade. We've got to move her out." So I moved. They found a place for me in Manhattan.
Sunny, once a trusted voice on justice, ethics, and accountability, now faced widespread scrutiny. Clips of her passionately challenging guests on moral responsibility resurfaced online, fueling public irony and disbelief. Her fall from grace left fans disoriented and critics triumphant, marking a bitter end to her career and the show that had been her platform. Memes flooded social media, mocking Sunny's alleged hypocrisy and referencing the $100 million verdict, while late-night talk shows turned her downfall into merciless comedic fodder. ABC, facing the collapse of a once lucrative program, explored rebranding with a lighter, less controversial format, possibly focused on celebrity interviews or lifestyle content. However, industry insiders doubted any replacement could escape The View's scandalous shadow. As one analyst noted, the public has a long memory when it comes to scandal. Rumors swirled about a possible appeal, with Sunny's attorneys arguing that the $100 million verdict was excessively punitive and riddled with procedural errors. However, appeals are slow-moving, and Sunny's career was effectively over. Without The View, she lost the platform that anchored her public visibility, and scandal in Hollywood often means doors close quickly. The debacle also sparked broader debates about handling controversies involving high-profitable media figures. Some suggested ABC should have acted sooner, encouraging Sunny to take a leave or addressing the allegations head-on. Others defended her decision to stay on air, arguing that stepping away prematurely could have implied guilt. In hindsight, the meltdown seemed inevitable. For loyal viewers, reactions were mixed. Some mourned the loss of a show that had been part of their daily routines, while others felt betrayed, believing the scandal had overshadowed everything The View once stood for. Some saw The View's downfall as a communal tragedy, lamenting the loss of a cultural institution, while others raged that Sunny had dragged the show down with her. Hashtags like cancel culture gone wrong trended, with debates over whether her punishment was excessive or justified. Yet one thing was certain: after decades as a daytime juggernaut, The View was no more. The final, pre-recorded broadcast aired without any mention of Sunny's legal crisis, quietly filling its usual time slot. Within days, the set was dismantled, staff were let go, and ABC replaced it with reruns of midday specials. The abrupt, unceremonious end revealed the fragility of even the most established institutions. Paparazzi captured Sunny slipping in and out of legal offices, her face marked with exhaustion. While some speculated she might write a tell-all book or pivot to niche commentary, her tarnished reputation made any comeback seem unlikely. The collapse of The View inspired think pieces on how quickly reputations crumble when personal scandals intersect with corporate and legal drama. Though the show had weathered many controversies, this was unprecedented. The 9-figure judgment marked the end of an empire, proving that no amount of goodwill can withstand such a scandal. Even years later, mentions of The View inevitably recalled Sunny's lawsuit and the debacle that toppled the once mighty brand. Rumors of revivals surfaced occasionally, but the consensus was clear. The show's legacy had been too deeply tainted. Its fall underscored a sobering truth of modern media: no star or institution is immune to ruin when trust and credibility evaporate.